G'day trendsetters, I am John with Gravel Cyclist and I'm coming to you today with another no bullshit review. This time around I have the beautiful, the very shiny, the very fancy, classy HED Cycling Emporia GA Pro Silver Edition wheelset designed for the rigours of gravel cycling, the gravelly road less travelled. But first, a little company history about HED Cycling. HED Cycling was founded way back in 1984 by none other than Mr. Steve Head, and the company has always led the way in cutting-edge wheel designs with a particular emphasis on aerodynamics. Another interesting fact, HED Cycling was the first company in the world to realise the benefits of wider rims. Around the year 2007, most wheel manufacturers had internal diameters of 15mm or 17mm, but Steve Head said, "I don't think so," and bumped it up to 20mm internally or higher. Absolute insanity prevailed. Now, unfortunately, Steve Head passed away in 2014. Rest in peace, Steve. But Steve's legacy lives on, namely in wheelsets such as the Emporia GA Pro, which, in case you haven't figured it out already, is an aluminium wheelset. Stating the obvious, the Emporia GA Pro Silver Edition breaks from the monotonous sea of all black wheelsets, especially those of the carbon fibre variety. Now it's time to cover the tech specs of these shiny little beauties. First up, the front wheel, and this aluminium wheel set features rims that measure 25mm internally and 30mm externally. There are 24 PIM laser spokes front and a spoke pattern of 2 cross. The wheel set is laced to HED's Sonic 512 front hub. And the rotor mounting standard is center lock, my absolute favourite for swapping rotors in a hurry. And here is the rear wheel, 24 spokes, again in a 2 cross pattern. And you've got your choice of cassette bodies. In this case, it is a Shimano 11-speed compatible. Campagnolo and SRAM XD is available. I understand that Campagnolo e-car will be available in the future. And as you can see from the rotor interface, center lock. It's time to measure the rims. Look at that, built for gravel cyclists. I know I've gone up in the world lately, I've got digital calipers, so there we go, look at that, 30.15mm, a tiny bit over spec. Let's measure the internal next. You're looking at 25.18, and let's measure the depth because why not? 24.29. Now it's time to put these little beauties onto the gram scale. Front wheel, that comes in at 720, we'll call it 720 grams. Onto the gram scale with the rear, and that comes in at 834 grams. So that makes a total of 1,554, which is about 20 grams over spec. That's the tech specs covered. Now it's time to see how these wheels mount up with tubeless tyres. Time to inflate. Panaracer Gravel King SK tyre in 700C by 38mm. This tyre was a piece of cake to install, almost too easy, so it might not inflate well with this pump. I might need a compressor, we'll soon find out. I have preloaded the secondary cylinder here with 120 psi. I have also taken the liberty of removing the valve core for maximum airflow. And this is a dry mount, meaning there's no sealant inside the tyre right now. I just want this tyre hopefully to pulp into the bead. I'm going to have to use a compressor. It's not getting a big shot of air. Basically, there is air leaking out around this area here. That's how it goes sometimes, folks. All right, second layer of tape required. Again, 2 layers of tape. Oh yeah, that was the trick, 2 layers. Look at that, folks, the second layer of tape makes all the difference. Thanks, mate, for your assistance tonight.
No worries.
That's the tyre mounting procedures covered. Now it's time to see how the HED Cycling Emporia GA Pro Silver Edition rides. Weighing in at just over 1,500 grams, These wheels are pleasantly light for an aluminium rimmed wheel set along with steel spokes. In my experience, HED wheels are constructed from high quality materials with great attention to detail going into the build. 24 spokes front and rear is seemingly the norm for this type of wheel set nowadays, and HED is no exception. A rim weight of 450 grams puts it alongside some of the deeper carbon rim options out there, but without the expensive price tag. Also, these wheels look so amazing, especially when paired with skin wall or brown sidewall tyres. These wheels are light enough to be pretty handy when climbing, and whilst I prefer a seated position, I couldn't budge these wheels laterally in any manner. The rim is engineered to accept a minimum tyre width of 32mm, and whilst no maximum width is mentioned, I reckon you could run 50mm tyres on these wheels, no worries at all. These wheels are very tough, and you don't have the potential impact concerns associated with the carbon rim. That's not to say you could not dent these rims, but there's a good chance you'll still be able to retain air pressure should you dent the rim. I've been riding these wheels on and off for over 3 months, and they're still perfectly true as the day I received them. These rims are hookless and tubeless. The hookless part some folks may take exception to with concerns for tyre retention. However, I did some pretty serious descending on this wheel set, and I feel confident in HED's take on the technology. I stayed upright, cornered at speed on loose conditions, and more. I also appreciate the simplicity of this wheel set with its external nipples, J-bend spokes. This is a very beautiful wheel set I can see lasting a very long time. With a rim that is 30mm deep, it isn't going to be bothered by crosswinds too much, but it's deep enough if you ran narrow 32mm tyres, they should cut through the air nicely. Once you slap on some bigger 700C by 38mm tyres that typically measure about 40 to 41mm on a rim of this width, I question any aero advantage. Think like a sail catching wind with wider tyres, but placebo is real. If you feel fast, you ride fast, and so on. Tyre pressure is the #1 factor to overall comfort on a gravel bike, but these wheels are not overly stiff with their low spoke count or uncomfortable to ride. HED has a recommended tyre pressure chart on their website for this model and others, but I rode my tyres at lower pressures than recommended with no undue side effects. Sometimes manufacturers play it safe, so bear that in mind. Your results may vary, but I have been very satisfied. Some folks may balk at the price of US $1,000 for this wheel set, and it may fall beyond the budget of some. However, the market supports a wheel set of this nature, and aesthetically, I reckon these wheels are absolutely beautiful. They really make some bikes pop, and I rode them exclusively on the T-Lab X3 Titanium Adventure bike, which I think they are a perfect match for. You can see my review of that bike linked in the description below. Additionally, these wheels arrive with a 5-year warranty. These aluminium rimmed wheel sets are reliable, strong and light, and hand built in Minnesota. One thing's for certain, these gorgeous wheels may not be for everyone, but they may be for someone. In fact, I'm keeping this set for myself, so you'll see them popping up in the future on the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel. So there you have it, that's my review of the HED Cycling Emporia GA Pro Silver Edition. I realise nowadays there's a smorgasbord, a cornucopia, so many wheel sets designed for your gravel bike. So I hope that my review went some way into helping you make an informed purchase decision. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell button so you are notified by videos such as this, product reviews, bike reviews, ride experience videos, and other madness, as all of it is released to the channel. Now it's time for the most difficult part of the review, where I put my sunglasses on and try not to drop the wheels onto the ground. I'll see you in the next video.